Thank you, Dr. Shantakumar and members of the Canadian Tamil Congress. The Premier of Ontario, who is not here now, Your Worship the Mayor, and distinguished guests. I have been warned that I am the only person who is standing between the dinner and yourselves, and to keep it very short. This is a second occasion on which I am addressing this Thai Pongal dinner. I was thinking back to the time when I spoke here at length about the situation back home during the last regime. And in that speech, saying how it was important to change that regime. I distinctly remember making that point. And today I stand before you at a time when a change was brought about, but hasn't fully achieved its objective. A change was brought about, a change which no one thought would come about so fast, but was done with the active participation of the Tamil people back home. Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was president, who claimed that he won the war, and many said that he must remain president for 25 years, was brought down through a democratic process, and our people led the way in that. But that was only the beginning of the change. 3 years later, as we stand today, many people, not so much the people back home, but many of their relatives here and in other places, are impatiently asking the question, where is the change? Still, lands are occupied by the military. Still, relatives are looking for the disappeared. There are people in prisons still under the PTA. No political solution has been achieved. So what's the point of this change? And I thought I must tell you that this change is also a process. And as I told Sinhala TV channel just the last week in Colombo, it's a classic case of the glass being half full or half empty. We have made an estimation of what has been achieved and what has not been achieved. And in every case, it seems that we are halfway somewhere. More than 50% of the lands have been released, which means more than around 50% of the lands are still in the occupation of the military. About 2/3 of the prisoners held under the PTA have been released. And an office of missing persons has been established. It took a long time for the commissioners to be appointed, but now that has been settled. And a huge sum of rupees 1,400 million has been set apart in the last budget to run that office of missing persons. What we'll be able to achieve through the process of that office, we do not know yet. With regard to a lasting political solution, an interim report has come, and as you know, there is a lot of discussion around what has been achieved or what has not been achieved, yet it is only halfway. I've heard from this city comments that have been made asking the Tamil National Alliance as to who gave us the right to abandon the claim for a separate state. And I was very surprised. Our people have continuously voted for a political solution within one country. This did not happen yesterday or the day before. It has happened since 1989, ever since the TULF went back to Parliament. Even during the times of the LTTE held discussions with the government of Sri Lanka with the aim of settling the matter within one country. Oslo Communique is one example of that. And so our people, since the end of the war, have very clearly articulated that we must bring the Tamil national question, or we must settle that within one country. That we must assure the rest of the country that we no longer stand for a division of the country. But that is not just one assurance from us. We give that assurance on the basis that power will be duly shared within the people, amongst the people of Sri Lanka. That governance structures will be altered in such a way that although the country is not divided, power is divided or shared in a meaningful way. And when that is done, we would have abandoned our claim for a separate state. In that process, I would say we have come halfway. It's understandable that people are impatient, but a 70-year-old struggle cannot be solved within a matter of a year or two. We must remain patient, and I must thank you, particularly the Tamils in Canada, who have continued to support us in many ways, politically, economically, culturally, and more than anything else, given our people back home a sense that we have strength outside our shores. And this is an occasion that I want to use to express our thankfulness to you for that support. Thank you very much.